Okay, so let's quickly talk about Airbnb. And so you've got 3 Airbnbs right now. You just lost one from a gym downstairs. How much profit do you make from the 3 of them? And like, what is the approximate setup if you want to share?
Look, I think we make about 100,000 between the 3. That's not turnover. That's what we make.
Net profit.
Net profit.
Yeah.
And that's after cleaning and everything. That's our after costs. And we don't do a hell of a lot for it. I don't think it sometimes gets a bit stressful, but very rare that it gets stressful. Only when something goes wrong with the apartment. So one we own, and the other 2 we have on rental arbitrage. So, but yeah, look, it works really well. We've had those for about 5 years now.
Has it been 5 years?
5 years, yeah.
Yeah, just for context, there was too many to take on, like pre-COVID. I'm sure I could find similar deals now. And I just didn't want to take the risk, so I gave my dad 2 and I took on 2. So those were those 2. And then we got that German lady to furnish them somehow for 5K each one.
Yeah.
Crazy. But she put some pretty shitty stuff in there, which we've eventually replaced. Unless you're strapped for cash, I don't recommend going cheap. Unless you can get started and just still make money with the shitty stuff, but just know that you're still leaving a lot on the table. So it's better just to put in the effort into your feasibility and put in the effort into the furniture and finding the money to make sure you get it right from the start.
Well, definitely one of the ones that your stepmother furnished, which we spent not that. I mean, we spent more than $5,000 on it. That's going gangbusters compared to the other one in the same building downstairs that has the older furnishings in it. The other one is going gangbusters compared to that. So and there's obviously a reason behind, and that is because it's actually furnished really nicely. And all our photos, what we did is we just literally went out and took photos of some bridges and oceans and so on, basically the local area, and just went to Kmart and blew them up and bought some frames and put them in, and they look great.
Nice.
Like amazing.
Well, you blew up your own photos.
Blew up our own photos,
Oh,
put them
wow.
in, and they cost us hardly anything to do. So, and it's like amazing. And the good thing about it is it's showing the local area and what
true.
it is. And even if you went a step further, you can put a little note on, a little sticker on it, just saying what it is. We've actually had customers ask us, "Well, where's this?" So, which is great.
Yeah.
And they're actually that good, and it was just taken from an iPhone, that they're actually saleable. Like literally, I reckon people would buy them because they look that good.
Yeah, it's like you can go so deep into like, because people want to book an Airbnb, which everyone remembers was like someone's actual home where they put effort into it. So you can go beyond like spending over the top on furniture and go into the actual small touches like that. Just like little certain trinkets that fit the thing, like don't just get everything from IKEA. Don't just get like the soap holder or whatever from IKEA. Like try to get stuff that's unique and thoughtful, because those are the touches that'll squeeze out the 5 stars and therefore higher nightly rates and everything. So how much time do you spend per day between you and your wife managing the properties in terms of time on your phone messaging guests, and on average
20 minutes?
20 minutes a day each?
No, because everything's automated.
Oh, you've got the automated
check-in
messages.
messages are all automated. Messages when we get a booking is all automated. All we're doing is we find out, get a booking, yep, check the ratings, accept it, quickly reply if they're saying something like, "Oh, we're coming here for our wedding," or whatever. Just say, "Yeah, that's great. You're going to love the apartment." Blah 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 blah. You might even mention, "Oh, go to such and such street because this is great Thai food," or whatever it is. Just throw a little bit of a thing in. But other than that, really nothing. Dealing with the cleaners if there's an issue. But that's rare. They generally go in, they send a video anyway, so you can quickly check that. So yeah, 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, but if at the most that. Obviously telling the cleaners each day how many beds they've got to set up, what needs to be cleaned, that sort of thing. But everything else is automatic. So
it's not really about the time spent, it's more about a little bit of headspace, like organisation.
yeah.
What do you guys do when you go overseas? Because
Well, we went to Canada because the rest is Canadian, and we had 4 properties at the time. Not one guest knew we were in Canada over that period of time.
And
we
who
got
did you get
married.
to solve?
And we got married as well, so we were actually there for 5 weeks.
So who was sorting out problems on the ground? Like
The cleaners, but luckily there was not much to be resolved. But yeah, the cleaners, we basically said, "Look, we're going to be away, we're getting married," and they said, "Don't worry about it, we'll fix anything." And there was literally nothing wrong. Nothing went wrong.
Right.
The only thing that happened was we were a bit slower in replying to the guests because obviously, time-wise. But, we'd go to bed at about midnight, and that was about, I think, 4 p.m. or thereabout in Australia. And so there wasn't that much happening between that time. So by the time we wake up in the morning, what's going to go wrong?
Yeah.
So most things can be resolved pretty quickly.
Interesting. So I usually say, like, I don't think it's worth learning the skill of Airbnb unless you're going to get, say, 5 places, for example, because otherwise if you're going to spend a couple of 100 hours learning a new skill and you divide it by 2 properties, then it's quite a bit per property. What do you think about just doing it on the side? Do you think it's worth someone to just do it on the side, or?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely worth doing it on the side. But when something does go wrong and you've got to get in there and sort it, you've got to have the time to do it. I mean, we live an hour away from where our properties are. So it is quite difficult for us to go in. We've been very lucky we haven't had to. And it's also got to be flexible. If you've got a job 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and you can't have days off, that can be a problem. Because, like I seize opportunities. If I've got to go into town for my other business, I'll make sure if there's an apartment that's got to, check in, check out on the same day, I'll go and check it. I'll go and check the clean and just have a look at it.
Yeah.
That is the only problem is if you've got a 9 to 5 job and you can't suddenly drop everything. And not that I'm saying you can drop anything, but you can't rearrange yourself to be able to say, I'm going to take Wednesday
But
off
actually,
and go in.
no, that's outsourceable. Like, you could just find a runner.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could find a runner. As long as you can trust the person, or you get your cleaner to do it and just pay them.
Yeah, that's
They're
actually
already
what I
there.
used to do. What we used to do with right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. So
All
once
right,
again,
yeah.
you got to trust the person though. So it comes back to the trust thing. Is you got to trust that person's going to, one, you can trust them to actually fix the problem, and two is you can trust them to do whatever it is it needs to be done,
Yeah.
and they're not going to rip you off in some way. So
Yeah. All right, follow for more Airbnb content. Check us out on Instagram. B&B Uni is the handle, just 6 characters. And we're on TikTok
just follow him.
and YouTube as well.
He's a smart boy.
Yeah.